What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. College men's basketball. Pittsburgh Panthers versus Stanford Cardinal. So this is part of the first round of the ACC tournament. Um, so uh, So Pittsburgh has a 42.5% chance to win. Stanford is 57.5% chance to win. This is in Charlotte, North Carolina. So Pittsburgh is unranked 12 and 19 record. Stanford's unranked 20 and 11 record. For stats, Stanford has more points per game, points against, field goal percentage is even. Pittsburgh has more rebounds per game, assists per game. Stanford has more blocks per game and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so with no home field advantage here, I think the records between the two teams and the odds are what I'm going to go with. So with Pittsburgh having a losing record, Stanford having a winning record, I think Stanford will beat Pittsburgh tomorrow. Syracuse Orange versus SMU Mustangs. This is part of the first round of the ACC tournament. Syracuse has a 32.8% chance to win, and SMU has a 67.2% chance to win. This is, in Charlotte, North Carolina. So Syracuse is unranked, 15-16 record. SMU's unranked, 19-12 record. For stats, SMU has more points per game, points against, higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game, assists per game. Syracuse has more blocks per game, and SMU has more steals per game. These stats are pretty close. So with no home field advantage, SMU has a winning record, Syracuse has a losing record, and most of the stats are in SMU's favor. So I think SMU will beat Syracuse tomorrow. Wake Forest Deacons versus Virginia Tech Hokies. This is part of the first round of the ACC tournament. Wake Forest has a 51.7% chance to win. Virginia Tech has a 48.3% chance to win. This is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, it's probably more of a home field advantage for Wake Forest. Yeah, so for stats, so Wake Forest is unranked 16-15 record. Virginia Tech's unranked 19-12 record. For stats, Wake Forest has more points per game, points against, field goal percentage is even. Virginia Tech has more rebounds per game, assists per game. Wake Forest has more blocks per game and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think Wake Forest will beat Virginia Tech tomorrow. Baylor Bears versus Arizona State Sun Devils. This is part of the first round of the Big 12 tournament. So Baylor's a 70.1% chance to win, and Arizona State's a 29.9% chance to win. This is at Kansas City, Missouri. So Baylor's unranked, 16-15 record. Arizona State's unranked, 16-15 record. For stats, Baylor has more points per game. Arizona State has more points against. Baylor's a higher field goal percentages, more rebounds per game, assists per game. Arizona State has more blocks per game and steals per game. These stats are pretty close. As far as the home field advantage goes, Baylor's closer, but I don't know how significant a difference it's going to make with it being in Missouri. Now, but Baylor having more points per game, less points against, higher field goal percentage. Basically, most of the stats being in Baylor's favor. The odds basically being as in much in Baylor's favor as actually is. I think Baylor will beat Arizona State tomorrow. Utah Utes versus Cincinnati Bearcats. This is part of the first round of the Big 12 tournament. So Utah has a 19.1% chance to win, and Cincinnati has an 80.9% chance to win. This is in Kansas City, Missouri. So Utah's unranked 10-21 record. Cincinnati's unranked 17-14 record. For stats, Utah has more points per game, points against, higher field goal percentage. Cincinnati has more rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, and steals per game. The only stat that's really a big difference is the points against. It's a 11.6 difference in favor of Cincinnati. So with home field advantage not really mattering here, due to this being Missouri, that points against value really matters a lot. So I think Cincinnati will beat Utah tomorrow. Kansas State Wildcats versus BYU Cougars. This is part of the first round of the Big 12 tournament. So Kansas State has a 16.2% chance to win, and BYU has an 83.9% chance to win. This is in Kansas City, Missouri. So Kansas State is unranked 12-19 record. BYU is unranked 21-10 record. So for stats, BYU has more points per game. Kansas State has more points against. BYU has a higher field goal percentage and has more rebounds per game. Kansas State has more assists per game. BYU has more blocks per game and steals per game. So yeah, so home field advantage is not really gonna matter here. I mean, Kansas State's definitely closer, but don't think it matters much. And with most of the stats being in favor of BYU actually having a winning record, unlike Kansas State, and with the odds being so much in BYU's favor, I think BYU will beat Kansas State tomorrow. Oklahoma State Cowboys versus Colorado Buffaloes. Oklahoma. So this is part of the first round of the Big 12 tournament. So Oklahoma State has a 53.3% chance to win. Colorado has a 46.7% chance to win. This is at Kansas City, Missouri. So Oklahoma State's unranked, 18-13 record. Colorado's unranked, 17-14 record. For stats, Oklahoma State has more points per game, points against. Colorado's a higher field goal percentage. Oklahoma State has more rebounds per game. Colorado has more assists per game, blocks per game. Oklahoma State has more steals per game. So yeah, this is definitely a really close one. See, like it's a close one, all right. Could be one of the best games of the tournament. So what I'm gonna go is that with the odds being Oklahoma State's favor, Oklahoma State having more wins, less losses, and as far as stats goes, the more important ones are in mostly in Oklahoma State's favor, and yeah. So I think Oklahoma State will beat Colorado tomorrow. Maryland Terrapins versus Oregon Ducks. This is part of the first round of the Big Ten tournament. Maryland has a 42.7% chance to win, and Oregon has a 57.3% chance to win. This is, at Chicago, Illinois. So home field advantage is not going to matter here for these two. So Maryland's unranked, 11-20 record. Oregon's unranked, 12-19 record. For stats, Oregon has more points per game. Maryland has more points against. Oregon has a higher field goal percentage. Maryland has more rebounds per game. Oregon has more assists per game, blocks per game, and steals per game. So with most of the stats being in Oregon's favor, the odds are in Oregon's favor. Oregon has more wins, less losses. I think Yeah, I think Oregon will beat Maryland tomorrow. Penn State Nittany Lions versus Northwestern Wildcats. This is part of the first round, the Big Ten tournament. Penn State has a 24.4% chance to win, and Northwestern is a 75.6% chance to win. This is in Chicago, Illinois, so it's definitely a home field advantage for Northwestern. Yeah, so Penn State's unranked, 12-19 record. Northwestern's unranked, 13-18 record. For stats, Penn State has more points per game, points against, higher field goal percentage. Northwestern has more rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, and Penn State has more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think Northwestern will beat Penn State tomorrow.
NBA.
Toronto Raptors versus Houston Rockets. The Raptors have a 37.2% chance to win, and the Rockets have a 62.8% chance to win. This is at Houston. For injuries, for the Raptors, Jackson Davis, Murray Boyles are out, and Podol, Lawson, and Hepburn are game time decisions. For the Rockets, Tate and Van Vliet are out, and Adams out for the year. For stats, Rockets have more points per game. Raptors have more points against. Rockets have a higher field goal percentage and more rebounds per game. Raptors have more assists per game. Rockets have more blocks per game and steals per game. So these stats are pretty close. So I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Rockets will beat the Raptors tomorrow. Boston Celtics versus San Antonio Spurs. The Celtics have a 42.3% chance to win, and the Spurs have a 57.7% chance to win. This is at San Antonio. For injuries for the Celtics, Richards a game time decision, and Vucevic is out. For the Spurs, Fleming's a game time decision for non-injury reasons. Barnes is out, and Jones Garcia is out for the year. For stats, the Spurs have more points per game, points against, higher field goal percentage, rebounds per game is even. Spurs have more assists per game, blocks per game, and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Spurs will beat the Celtics tomorrow. Minnesota Timberwolves versus Los Angeles Lakers. The Wolves have a 56% chance to win. The Lakers have a 44% chance to win. This is at LA. For injuries for the Wolves, Anderson's a game time decision. For the Lakers, LeBron James is a game time decision. For stats, the Wolves have more points per game. Lakers have more points against and have a higher field goal percentage. The Wolves have more rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Lakers will beat the Timberwolves tomorrow.
College baseball.
Wake Forest Deacons versus Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Wake Forest is 12 in nation, 15-1 record. Coastal Carolina 16 in nation, 9-6 record. This is at Coastal Carolina. Look, it's a home game. It's a midweek game. But Coastal Carolina's freaking overrated. I mean, 9-6 record and still ranked 16. I mean, come on. Doesn't matter who you lose to. That's freaking bad this early in the year. When conference play hasn't started yet. I mean, that's freaking bad. So, I mean, yeah, I think Wake Forest is going to beat Coastal Carolina tomorrow. Florida State Seminoles versus Florida Gators. Uh, Florida State is 20 nation, 13-2 record. Florida's 23 nation, 14-3 record. This is at Florida. So yeah, this could be a really good game. I mean, two highly ranked teams, in-state rivals. It's a midweek game, so it's not gonna be like they're pitching their best here. But this could still be a really good game. I mean, in-state rivalries are big regardless of win. So yeah, this could be good. I think with it being at Gainesville, I think Florida will beat Florida State tomorrow. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.